Wow, what an introduction. How's everybody doing this morning? First of all, the reason we're here, can we just show some love and clap it up again for all of these young scholars and students who have excelled? My name is Nathan Jameson, and I personally want to thank Mr. Bailey, all of Woodward Park, the staff members, Mr. Jackson, admin, Ms. Bristol, anyone who's helped me, assisted me while I've been in the building, working with the young men for the past few years. So I'm thankful for them. So can you clap it up for the staff and admin team here as well, please? I am a Columbus City Schools graduate, and my journey started a while ago. I attended Douglas Elementary School, Arts Impact Middle School, Northland High School for my first 2 years, and then I graduated from Eastmore Academy. You see, education, schools, the academic realm is such an interesting space because you come in contact with adults, with teachers, with staff members who can absolutely change your life. And when I see all of these young people in here today, I'm looking at myself. I'm looking at students who are on the path to changing their life. And see, in 2014, my life changed. My senior year of high school, I was at Eastmore Academy, and I had transferred into the school. So my first 2 years were at Northland High School. My last 2 years were at Eastmore Academy. When I transferred into Eastmore Academy, didn't really know many people, was a star basketball player, and that's really all I thought was going to be my life. I had a basketball tattooed on my arm, which is now covered up, y'all. I had the NBA logo inside the basketball. I had my initials, and I had the word Spalding on the basketball. Don't ask me why. I just did it. My mom let me get the tattoo, so she took me to get it. But the other ones I snuck and got, but that's another story. I tell this story, and I've told this story over probably 100 times because this is a pivotal point in my journey. And young people, I want you to understand this because they're going to be pivotal, life-changing moments as you continue to age. I walked into my PowerPoint class. And this is a class where we learned about software and Microsoft Word and Microsoft PowerPoint, how to use it, how to, create files, how to save documents, how to create PowerPoints. And I was a goofy kid, so I laughed a lot, I played a lot, I flirted a lot. I was just all over the place. And on this particular day, we had to do presentations in the class. And so I walked into the classroom. And Miss Marseille Waddell, whom I talk to this day, she stopped me. And she spoke words to me that changed my life. She said, "Young man, do you know that when you walk into a classroom, when you walk into a room, you demand attention?" She said, "You have a presence about you. When you're in front of people, there's something about you." Now, keep in mind, at this point, I'm like, I'm going to the NBA, I'm going to the league. She crazy. There's something going on with her. But what happened was she saw something in me before I saw it in myself. And as I continue through my notes and my story, young people, there are going to be people in your life who see things in you before you see them in yourself. See, for some of you who are here right now, you've gotten to this point right now because people saw something in you that you didn't see within yourself. See, you all each have your strengths, your weaknesses, but I can almost guarantee you that you're sitting in this room because you worked hard, you were focused, but there were also some people around you who believed in you and who saw something that you may not have saw in yourself. See, we've heard the saying, "Sticks and stones may break my bones." Raise your hand if you've heard that before. "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me." Raise your hand if you believe that. And most of us do. I, however, disagree. I believe that words are powerful. I believe that words are life-changing. I believe that words can take you to the next level in life. See, when I was at Columbus State Community College in 2015, I had left Capital and went to Columbus State. I took a class called sociology. My professor, Dr. Peter Kareem Sise, I'll never forget this man. He taught us something called the self-fulfilling prophecy. And the self-fulfilling prophecy says, if I tell you something so much, you'll begin to believe it. And subconsciously, without even knowing it, you'll make it a reality. So if I tell you by the time you get to age 17, you're going to be locked up, you'll quit your job, you'll be fighting our family. If I tell you this so much, you could begin to believe it and make it a reality without even knowing. But on the other hand, the self-fulfilling prophecy also says, if I tell you that you can be anything, if I tell you that you have power, if I tell you that you're intelligent, if I tell you that you can be a college grad, if I tell you you can start a business, if I tell you that you can do anything in this world, that you can also begin to subconsciously believe that and make that your reality. All my young people say that will. Young people say that will become my reality. Now clap it up for yourselves. Clap it up for yourselves. See, this is a story about pivotal moments, pivotal people. See, Mr. Bailey introduced me as Nate Jameson, but when you see Nate Jameson, you're not just looking at one person. And when I see you all, I'm not just looking at one person. See, I can almost guarantee that many of you have strong support in your family. Maybe it's your friends. Maybe it's a teacher. Maybe it's a principal. Maybe it's someone in the building who saw something in you and pushed you to get to the next level. See, when you look at me right now, you don't just see Nate Jameson. You see Mr. Bailey. You see Mr. Jackson. You see Mr. Terrell. You see Marseille Waddell. You see Walter Thomas Jameson. You see Judith Leslie Williams. You see Jacob Green. You see Calvin Dunning. You see Carissa Williams. You see Daniel. You see Melvin Smith Williams. You see Brady Ford Jr. You see Delrika Grubbs. You see Andre Jones. You see Coach Meadows. You see Coach Davis. You see Coach Golson. And the point I'm trying to make is I didn't get to where I'm at right now by myself. See, it was through Columbus City Schools and all the wonderful people that I've came in contact with throughout my journey that have been placed in my life who have helped usher me into where I'm at right now. See, we can believe that we can do this thing alone, young people, but you're going to need some help. Would y'all agree? And there's going to be some people along this journey to continue helping you all achieve what you want to achieve. See, I've experienced many pivotal people in my life. But I'd honestly say that moment at Eastmore Academy, when Miss Waddell looked me in my eyes in that hot room where we didn't have any AC and we would be burning up, sweating on those computers every day, and told me those words was life-changing. See, from that point, she put me into the running to speak at our senior breakfast. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I was a bit nervous, but she pushed me and said, "You can do this." And the rest is history. When I left Eastmore Academy, I started my collegiate journey at Capital University. Raise your hand if you're familiar with Capital University, if you've heard of Capital University. I studied exercise science because my parents wanted me to be a doctor. I kind of wanted to be a doctor, but not really. I was on the basketball team at the college. But I found myself a bit sad and depressed because I wasn't doing at that moment what I knew I was called to do. See, I was only getting fulfillment when I could be in a community and work with young people like yourselves, when I could speak at different locations, when I could go to rec centers and YMCAs. So what did I do? I took my little hoopty, my 93 red Chevy Lumina, and I drove it around the city. And I would just go to different places and just ask them, hey, can I come speak to your summer campers? Hey, can I do a presentation here? Hey, I'll do it completely free. I just want to help the community. And I did this every single day. See, that 93 Chevy Lumina that my grandmother gifted me was really for my cousin who met his untimely death a little bit too soon. See, there wasn't any AC in the car, but it was my car. I was tatted up, and I'm this young kid from the inner city driving around to these different entities, organizations, camps, meeting these different professionals, just going up to them like, hey, I'm Nathan Jameson. Can I speak to your campers? Can I work with your students? Do you have any assemblies or ceremonies that I can empower the people through my voice at? And I did this every single day. Everybody say pivotal moments. I said everybody say pivotal moments. See, I've talked about pivotal people, and I've also talked about pivotal moments. Perhaps the most pivotal moment in my life was 2016, April 9th to be exact. I was away at school in Greensboro, North Carolina, at North Carolina A&T State University. This was a Saturday. And I was calling my father, but he wouldn't pick up the phone. Now, me and my father, we talked almost every day. He was my best friend. Now, my father was a sick man. So growing up, my father struggled with diabetes. He was a cancer survivor. Nonetheless, he was my father. He was my rock. And on this particular Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, he wouldn't pick up the phone. And I called my father's nurse. I said, Sheena, I need you to go check on my dad. Raise your hand if you've ever knew that something wasn't right, that you could just kind of tell that something was off. Has anyone ever experienced that? I know my adults have. Where you just know, okay, something isn't right here. And Sheena picked up the phone and she called me back and she was crying hysterically. And before I could even respond, she said, Nate, I'm sorry. Your dad's gone. And from that point, in 2016, I made up in my mind that I would go as hard as I could with empowering the community, giving speeches, running programs, and building some type of business. See, while I was at A&T, I studied business entrepreneurship. My mother owned a business for 20 years here in the city, but I was studying it while I was away at school. When I received those words on the phone that day, I dropped down to the floor and I began crying hysterically. And I thank God that I had my suite mates, my friends around me to comfort me in that moment. That was a pivotal moment. And so from 2016 until 2022, I just worked and volunteered and spoke in workshops and facilitated as much as I could to build exposure, to build experience, to help the community because I love the community. And in 2022, I founded Jameson Consulting Group, LLC, which was one of the best decisions that I believe I could have ever made. And since then, humbly, I'll say, I've been pretty successful and been able to work and partner with different organizations, companies, schools, higher education. See, young people, if you don't take anything else from my story today, just understand that there are going to be people in your life through the hard times, through the tough times, who are going to help get you to the next level. And that your ambition and your hard work will get you to the next level. Do y'all believe that? I need y'all to talk to me. Do you really believe that? Say, Mr. Nate. Say, Mr. Nate. I believe that. I'm going to leave you with this quote. And it's from my favorite movie, The Pursuit of Happiness. Has anyone seen The Pursuit of Happiness? And I've watched this movie 100 times over because it's so inspirational. And if you get the chance, I would love for you all to go watch it. There's a scene where the main character, his name is Christopher Gardner, is with his son, Chris Jr. And he says, you know what, today we're going to go shoot some hoops. So he takes his son, and they're shooting hoops. His son shoots it. It goes over the backboard. It was a bad shot. It went over the backboard. And his son looked at dad, and dad said, you know what? I don't want you out here shooting this ball every day. It's not really in our blood for us to be successful athletes. You probably shouldn't focus on that. And immediately, his son was discouraged. He was hurt. He was heartbroken. Because the man that he loved the most had just killed his dream. And the son responded by walking away with his head down. And his father saw immediately what he had just did to his son. And he looked at him and he said the most powerful words that I believe have ever been spoken in a movie. He said, don't ever let somebody tell you that you can't do something. Not even me. You got a dream, you got to protect it. When people can't do something themselves, they want to tell you you can't do it. You want something? Go get it. Period. Woodward Park students, don't stop dreaming. Don't stop working. Don't stop believing. Some of you may not know Mr. Nate Jameson. Some of you have seen me in the building. Whether we've come in contact or not, know that I believe in you. Know that you have power. And know that you guys can be and do whatever it is that you want. Do y'all believe that? Repeat after me. Say, I can become whatever I put my mind to. I have abilities, I have authority, and I am powerful. Now clap it up for yourselves, everybody.